Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 4 English lesson on antonyms. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language art, grade 4. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of antonyms. And in our previous lesson, we did we did add synonyms, and synonyms are words with the same meaning or almost the same meaning. That's synonyms. Words with the same meaning or words with almost the same meaning. Now, today we're doing antonyms. We said our chapter is antonyms. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 4. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on today under the chapter of antonyms is to choose the antonyms as well as which sentence uses an antonym. All right. So there's going to be our lessons for today to choose the antonym and also which sentence uses an antonym. All right. So antonyms, right? Antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. Antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. And if we look at the words, right? Remember it said it's words with the opposite meaning. For example, big. The opposite of big is small. So it is words with the opposite meaning. Big, the opposite of big, if something is not big, it is small. So once again, we said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. Opposite meaning. If something is not big, it is little, or we can say it is small. If it is not a boy, and then we can say it's a girl. All right, so now we're going to choose words that has the opposite meaning, right? So I will probably give you words and then you can just give me the opposite of what that words mean. Look at mother. The opposite of mother. If it's not mother, it is opposite. We need to give the opposite of mother. If it's not a mother, then it is what? All right. So the if it's not your mother, and then we can say it is your father. So these are things that are opposite. It's either big or it's little. It's either boy or it's girl. It's either black or it's either hard or it is What is the opposite of black? If it's not black, it is what? The opposite of black. If something is not black, then it is what? And if something is not black, we can say it is white. If it is not hard, then we can either say, okay, let's not use easy. Let's say rather soft. Then we say, yeah, it's either something is difficult or it is easy. Yes, well done. Soft is correct. If it's not hard, then it is soft. Yeah, well done. It's either you are happy or you are happy or the opposite of happy. If someone or something is not happy, then you are what? If you're not happy, then you are what? If you're not happy, you are what? Yes. If someone is not happy, then we can say they are sad. So they're sad. Well done. Sad is correct. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a few words and then you're going to tell me the opposite of those words. Right? You're going to tell me the opposite meaning of that word. Oopsie. It's either think of a mathematics. It's either I add or I You're either absent or you are It's either something is expensive or it is something is not expensive, then what is it? Clean or hot or it's either you are skinny or thin. Oopsie, one double A. Or you are So now we need to oopsie. We need to now select the antonyms. So give me the antonyms of these words. So we need to select the antonyms of these words, the opposites of these words. And a few was already done. We said if it's not a boy, it's a girl. If it's not mother, it is father or mom or dad. If it's not black, then it's white. It's not hard, then it's soft. The opposite of difficult, it's easy. And the opposite of happy, it's sad. So if we look at these words, add, what is the opposite of add? Yes, well done. So add, the opposite of add is to subtract. All right, so we said that it is adding or subtracting. Yes, it's either hot or cold. Well done. We can either say you're skinny or thick or skinny and fat. Clean and dirty. Yes, well done. What is the opposite of expensive? If something is not expensive, it is what? If something's not expensive, it is what? Yes, so we can say it is cheap. It's either you are absent today or you are what? All right. And if somebody is either present, absent, if you're not absent, then it means that you are present. You are here. Yes, well done. Or we can even say, okay, that's synonym. I want to say gifted present, but that is a synonym. So these are but a few examples, right, of antonyms. We said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. The opposite meaning of what it means. Big and little. Boy or it's a girl. Mother or it's a father. It's either black or white. It's either hard. Opposite of hard is soft. Opposite of difficult is easy. Opposite of happy is sad. We either add something or we subtract something. You are either absent today or you are present, which means you're here. Some things are either expensive, but the opposite of expensive is cheap. It's clean or it's dirty. It's either hot or cold. It's either skinny or thick or skinny and fat. So these are but a few examples of antonyms, right? Where we identified antonyms and antonyms in context. All right, so now we're going to A plus students.ca. All right. And remember, we said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. right. Just for a reminder again, antonyms are words with the opposite meaning, the opposite. And we went over a few words where we had to find the opposite of those words, the opposite meaning or the opposite word, right? Another word that shows us the opposite of something. All right, so now we're going to a+students.ca. We need to choose the antonym. So we need to choose the antonym. It says which word is an antonym of downstairs. If it's not downstairs, and then what is it? All right, so if we look at this word or the sentence, it says which word is the antonyms of downstairs. If it's something is not downstairs, then where is it? Yes, we can say it is upstairs. If it's not downstairs, then it is upstairs. So upstairs. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to choose the antonyms. We're going to choose the antonyms. Words with the opposite meaning. It says which word is the antonym of unusual? Unusual. Is it option one, it is common, or option two, lazy? Which one is the antonym of unusual, the opposite of unusual? Is it option one, comment, or option two, carrots? Lazy, sorry. All right. And the opposite of unusual, because if something is unusual, then the opposite is, we can say, it's either unusual or it is common. Yes, well done. Option one is correct. Well done. Common is the opposite of unusual. The opposite of ugly. What is the antonym of ugly? The opposite of ugly. Is it pretty or is it strange? Option one, pretty, or option two, strange? So, which word is the antonym of ugly? The opposite of ugly. Is it option one, pretty, or option two, strange? Option one, pretty, or option two, strange? All right. And the opposite of ugly, we can say it is pretty. So option one, pretty, is correct. Well done. What is the antonym of poor? The opposite of poor, is it option one, unlucky, or option two, rich? The opposite of poor. Is it unlucky or rich? Option one, unlucky. Option two, rich. All right. We need to identify the antonym of poor. And yes, option two, well done. Rich is the antonym or the opposite of poor. Well done. Which word is the antonym or opposite of tell? Is it tell? Is it to ask, option one, or about, option two? And the antonyms of tell or the opposite of tell is ask. It's either I'm telling you something or I'm asking you something. So well done. All right, the last one. It says, which word is the antonym, the opposite of weak? The antonym of weak, is it option one, strong, or option two, small? All right. What is the word, the antonym, the opposite of weak? All right. And the opposite of weak. All right. And the opposite of weak. Yes, it is strong. Either you're weak or you're strong. All right. So tiny and huge. All right. So now we're going to the next one where we need to say which sentence uses an adjective. An anthem, sorry. We need to choose the sentence that chooses or does or uses an antonym. For example, we would say, did you hear about the poor man who invented a time machine? So, did you hear the poor man? We need to select the word and then we need to identify a different word to replace that word. So we need to replace the word poor with the opposite of poor. So did you hear about the poor man who invented a time machine? So we can then say, did you hear about the rich man? So did you hear about the rich man who invented a time machine? It's the opposite. All right. So we need to find the word in bold and we need to replace it with the antonym of that word, right? So let us quickly go to our test. We need to replace that word. It says Rona or Rana hopes to receive many cards on Valentine's Day. And if we were to select the sentence that uses an antonym, all right, the opposite of receive is to send. Well done. The cupboards in Mrs. Brady's kitchen are quite messy inside. Messy. What is the opposite of messy? Is it damp or neat? This is the last one. Damp or neat. And the opposite of messy. If something is not messy, then it is neat. Well done. All right. So this is the end of our lesson on antonyms. We said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning, right? All right. So thank you very much, grade fours, for joining the class, and I really hope that you are going to have a good day further. Goodbye.